I've never had a smartphone. I had a little Sony Ericsson, which I used from 2004, yeah, that long ago, until 2019 when I lost it in Dubrovnik, Croatia. I was barely using it, so it wasn't much of a loss. People do ask me, how do you survive without a smartphone? And I find that I thrive without one. But I do like new tech, new gear. I like seeing what people come up with. And that's why I was interested in the Light Phone 3 when I first saw that it was being created, and I did buy one. You see, there is positive technology, things that enhance our abilities, provide new features. So a hammer is an example of that. As a tool, it allows us to hit a nail with a force that our hands can't hit things with. And then there is negative technology, tools that protect us, that remove things from our life, like the gloves that we might use while we're hammering, or like the door of our house, maybe the lock on the door or the windows, and they allow some access, but they also remove access, so birds don't fly into our house and insects come in and that sort of thing. Well, the Light Phone 3 is an example of negative technology, access partly, but also a lot of protection, and that's why I like it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sanctus Forum. I am Michael Stewart Robb, better known as Mike. I'm also known as that guy on the internet, or perhaps one you know personally, who doesn't have a smartphone. And that's because I'm interested in things like reading, like praying, like thinking, like having a healthy lifestyle, all things we talk about on this channel. And today we're going to talk about the Light Phone 3 and why I have tried it as my first phone in 6 years. The reason why I have opted for the no phone option is because I have a number of lifestyle priorities, and those are things like I want to be attentive, I want to be productive, and I want to be, well, good. I want to be moral. And smartphones make it hard, for me at least, to be all of those things. Now, I'm going to be coming more from the no phone or flip phone world. I know a lot of people watching this are probably asking, can I go from a smartphone to something like the Light Phone? I don't know. Depends on what you really want a phone to do for you. If there were a phone invented that a monk would use, or perhaps a top scientist like an Albert Einstein, or somebody like C.S. Lewis who's doing creative work, an artist or something, that would be the right phone for me. So for features, the phone can do phone stuff. It can make calls perfectly fine. It can text better than a flip phone can, and officially I don't have a phone, but unofficially I actually do. It's kept in this drawer right here. It is this piece of junk, and it is usually out of batteries like it is right now, and it is terrible to text with compared to a smartphone, which I do know how to do. The larger real estate on this means that you can get a full keyboard on there, and so if the only alternative to a smartphone is a flip phone, then this is a perfect middle way. Secondly, it does have music and podcasts, which my flip phone did not. For the past 6 years, I have used a Sony Walkman, which is excellent for listening to music. It does have a headphone jack, but this one is more like those MP3 CDs that we used to make, and you put like your 12 favorite albums on there and you listen to those for a while and then you make a whole new CD. Well, you can put a bunch of music on there, your favorite stuff for the moment, and then in a few months take it off, put different stuff on. Podcasts work just like podcasts on anything else. I'm not a big podcast person. I do listen to lectures while I'm running. I take my Sony Walkman for that. I haven't yet taken this with me. It's hard to get the lectures into the podcast app. It's fine. I'm sure it works great for podcasting people. Thirdly, this has directions, which is obviously pretty crucial for a lot of people. People can't figure out how I got anywhere without a smartphone, and the answer is I got there the old way. I would draw maps or take maps with me or just remember where things are. Fortunately, the light phone does have directions, and I've used it a little bit and works perfectly fine. Fourthly, it does have a camera, which is very good. It's not a great camera. If I were going to go somewhere and take pictures, I would take one of my nice cameras along, but it is good for those not so nice pictures that we sometimes need to take in everyday life. And I found that it's very helpful with the QR code stuff. So for example, when riding the German trains, I need to show that I have a particular discount card. Well, the train company has gotten rid of the plastic cards, and they want people to show them the card on their smartphone. Well, I just used the camera on this to take a picture of the QR code, showed it to the train conductor. No big problem. I am interested in seeing how this works in an airport, and to see if there too I can just take pictures of the boarding passes and use them to get into the secured area. Haven't tested that yet. Fifthly, obviously, you can collect contacts on this phone. Now, for me, in the past month, not having a phone for so many years, it has been rather quiet. I don't even know how to silence the phone because I haven't really needed to do that, because nobody really knows that this phone exists. There is no WhatsApp capability or signal capability on this, which is rather important in Europe. People use that a lot to text and call each other because it's free. I'm not sure how that's going to go when people realize that I have a phone but I don't have WhatsApp, whether they will consider me to even have a phone at all. But I'll tell you what I really like about this phone, and that is that there is no reason to look at it or mess with it for hours on end throughout the day. I mean, really, you couldn't spend more than 5 minutes messing with this phone. There is no time lost owning this phone. That is precisely what I don't want in a smartphone. I don't want something that can easily eat through many minutes or hours in my day. And in that sense, the phone is like other tools. It's something that just sits there and waits for me to decide to use it, to say, okay, now I want to do something with the phone. And it helps me be attentive, it helps me be productive, and it helps me be good. Now, there are downsides to this, and one of the downsides is the price. If you look at how much this thing costs, you will think, do I really need one of those phones? This is more in the boutique category, a small company that's trying to make a really good product, and they succeeded, but they aren't really able to sell them at a volume that they can really push that price down. Possibly by having a phone that you use for many, many years, by not having a big data plan that you need, you might save more money over time. The other thing that I don't really like about the phone is that the camera is not great as a point and shoot camera. Like, I do know what good cameras are supposed to be. Obviously, taking pictures of QR codes, you don't really need a great camera. That said, I think the Light Phone 3 is an excellent piece of negative technology, which we need despite all of the positive technology that we are developing. We need things that create space for other things, analog things, as well as protect us and protect others. And therefore, I'm glad to keep trying to use the Light Phone 3 and integrate it into my lifestyle, which has certain priorities in it. If you'd like to see more videos about the Lightphone 3, let me know. I hope that you all have a great day and that you learn how not to just survive, but to thrive. See you next time. Here's the box. It's an unboxing.